welcome back to my isolation diary. I know I promised I would write and record and release a single for this episode. I've done the first two parts. It is being released. It's just taking a little longer than I thought. So I can give you a little sneak preview. And then I start singing. But we'll save our gold. We'll save it for next time because it's one of those things that's worth holding on for. And the metamorphosis, I think, is all part of the fun. Which brings me to the subject of this week's show, which is tadpoles to frogs. Now, I have been delighted, enthralled, and a little bit terrified by the number of frogs in my pond this year. I didn't know that frogs could lay up to 4,000 eggs. And I have been slightly baffled as to where they keep them all. But when they do, the spawn itself tastes revolting to protect the precious cargo inside. And as the tadpoles develop, they start off with gills, then their mouth grows from this tiny to enormous great stretching grin across their faces. You know the rest, the legs pop out the back, then the front legs pop out, and then you get the tail subsumed into the body as a food source. I have been a little bit unnerved to see them indulging in a little bit of cannibalism, which I'm currently watching The Terror on Amazon Prime, which I warmly recommend. Jared Harris starring as a naval explorer in Victorian times. There's also a little bit of cannibalism in there, so there's a resonance, albeit a hideous one. But I was completely gobsmacked to discover that frogs can breathe through their skin. Apparently the skin is so thin they can absorb oxygen, which means they can stay underwater for anything from a couple of minutes to months. And their hearing is extraordinary, so hopefully they'll be tuning into my single when it's released next week. And their eyesight too. This intrigued me. Apparently, if you look through the eyes of a frog, you will see that if you see the eardrum through the eye, I know it sounds a bit gross, but if you can see the eardrum and it's small, apparently it's a female frog. And if the eardrum covers the whole eye, then it's a male frog. They offer a complete world of delight to me, and all around the garden I have been building what I've called reptile temples, which is really just little piles of wood and bricks and things for them to hopefully shelter over winter, because I do think they are the most magnificent emblems of our wonderful natural countryside. Fingers crossed next week I'll have a single for you. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching the Isolation Diary. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.